What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Friday, everybody. Before I continue, I just want to let you know that if you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, hype, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do in order to help us, really, but it is what helps us the most. However, if you want to help out the channel in other ways, we have links down there you can choose from. You can become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. If you want merch and no ads, I think Patreon is the way. This is the only ad you get on Patreon. You can also choose to give us a review on Spotify because we were just accepted to the partner program and we can really use your help to keep growing. You can also go to the main channel if you're new. And I got about 850 episodes that you can go through. I would really appreciate doing any of those things. Whatever you choose to do is always appreciated. So thank you. Happy Doomer Friday, which is about to start. But I do want to give you guys a little reaction video. And I want to connect some more dots on a video that I had ready for yesterday about Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day film. And I didn't publish it because of the elephant in the room, let's call it. First of all, yeah, Terrence was right.
It's only going to get weirder. The level of contradiction is going to rise excruciatingly, even beyond the excruciating present levels of contradiction. I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is. And at that point, novelty theory can come out of the woods, because eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on? It's just too nuts. It's not enough to say it's nuts. You have to explain why it's so nuts. I look for the invention of artificial life, the cloning of human beings, possible contact with extraterrestrials, possible human immortality, and at the same time, appalling acts of brutality, genocide, race baiting, homophobia, famine, starvation, because the systems which are in place to keep the world sane are utterly inadequate to the forces that have been unleashed. The collapse of the socialist world, the rise of the internet, these are changes so immense, nobody could imagine them ever happening. And now that they have happened, nobody even bothers to mention what a big deal it is. The mushroom said to me once, it said, this is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. You don't depart for the stars under calm and orderly conditions. It's a fire in a madhouse. And that's what we have, the fire in the madhouse at the end of time. This is what it's like when a species prepares to move on to the next dimension. The entire destiny of all life on the planet is tied up in this. We are not acting for ourselves or from ourselves. We happen to be the point species on a transformation that will affect every living organism on this planet at its conclusion.
Such a prophet, right? And yeah, I want you guys to understand, and this is something that I've been trying to repeat as much as I can. Clint has repeated it as well. Clint Weldon from The Night Shift. Sander Jones has as well. Dan Cleary has as well. This is not just about revealing whether we're alone in the universe or not. This is about a convergence point that many different aspects of reality are going to get to at a certain point. One of those is this. Yeah, right after my video on Donald Trump taking Obama's bait, right after I pressed publish, this happened. This is an announcement from President Donald Trump's official Truth Social account. And then it was retweeted and reposted on every single social media you can imagine. It has been covered by the mainstream news. The obvious and most simple reason to explain this is that President Donald Trump can be construed as trying to avoid jail by any means necessary. And this is the absolute truth. It can be regarded as a way to distract people from the Epstein files. I am completely aware of this. Don't think I'm not. But there's also a lot of work that has been done in order to get to this by a lot of people who are serious, by a lot of people who are truly after just the truth, not the subversive version of the truth that some people within the disclosure movement are also trying to push. We can't ignore everything that's happening. Over the last 2 weeks, we had this little exchange between Obama and President Donald Trump. We also had OpenClaw revolutionize the AI game with these agents. There was a fight to get OpenClaw by the big AI corporations like Anthropic, like OpenAI, and the ones who absorbed OpenClaw was OpenAI. And there is now a general sensation that we are going to get to super artificial intelligence by 2028 at the latest. But I think that considering how advanced places like DARPA or the Department of Energy are in many discoveries, they're like, according to accounts, 40 to 50 years ahead of the rest. I think that probably AGI is already with us. That's a possibility. I recently saw one of the Google founders mention the term non human intelligence when he was talking about AI. So this is also happening. Then there's the buildup around the Middle East for what seems to be like a almost certain war. That is also happening. So it's complicated. And now this is an official announcement that is going to happen. And it has many implications. It's not just, oh, he said it, it's disclosure. No, there's still a lot that needs to happen in order to get what people want. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to go into the Steven Spielberg link. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War, other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. This is real. This did happen. As I've been telling you, there's a few people, it's not me, there's a few people that have been talking about this for a while now. Like, I have to mention Walter Kern, I have to mention Matthew Pines, I have to mention potentially dark journalist who has been talking about a lot about this more openly because there's a part of the control disclosure crew that doesn't want any attention into what's happening behind the scenes. I don't agree with that. I think that's why a lot of them don't like me. I think that there needs to be a specific account of how things are done because that can avoid many of the issues that have already been aired within the disclosure movement. And there are a lot. So, yeah, Terrence McKenna was right. Shit's getting really weird. Everything's happening and we're here for it. Don't think that we're going to forget about the Epstein files. I'm not. I think the majority of us are not. This just means that if any of this is real, the world and the universe is much darker than I previously thought. And I think that it's a disservice to people who have suffered negative experiences with this to say that it's all positive and that you need to stay positive. I think that is absolute bullshit. That comes from somebody who lived in a privileged country and grew up in a privileged country. Regardless of the conditions you were under, you still lived in the U.S. And comparing life in the U.S. to other third world countries is just bullshit. So, yeah, that comes from a privileged person, whoever tells you that. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. So, what's the link between Steven Spielberg and whatever is happening right now with President Donald Trump? In order to understand that, I'm going to take you back to a video from Eyes on Cinema that I've played before, but it's even more relevant today. This is Steven Spielberg right before he was going to present Close Encounters of the Third Kind in the late 70s. And listen to what he said.
I wouldn't put it past this government that a cosmic Watergate has been underway for the last, 25 years. And at the same time, I don't think it's, I think as we're growing up, or from the government's point of view, I think we've been adults for hundreds of years, but from the government's point of view, we're still growing up, and eventually they might want to tell us something about what they've discovered over the decades. There is a rumor that was in U.S. News and World Report a number of months ago that Jimmy Carter might make some unsettling disclosures about the UFO phenomena sometime in December. It's perfect timing. I opened my movie in December, so it's perfect timing.
So, yeah, this was Steven Spielberg thinking that in the 70s, disclosure was going to happen. I've spoken to Alan Levine from APRO. He also told me that there was an agreement with a museum, a really famous museum, to place some of the evidence in display of like documents and metamaterials and all that stuff. That didn't happen. And there wasn't any announcement like this one today. So I would guess that Steven Spielberg may have already known that a lot of this was going on in the background because, again, as I told you in one of my videos yesterday, there wasn't a specific plan, but there was always planning to get action into this. And the planning resulted in this Truth Social post from President Trump. But let's not forget what caused for this reaction. And here's this little exchange, an edit from my buddy Dan Cleary of Brian Tyler Cohen's question to Obama, and then President Donald Trump's response to Peter Doocy, all put together, that caused this announcement that the UFO files are set to potentially be released. So here it is.
I want to do a little bit of a lightning round here because it's not often I'll get access to the President of the United States. So a couple questions here. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
A lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Well,
he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to. So if you want to make an announcement,
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
Yeah. And right after that, the announcement came. Like right after I posted my video where I say that Trump took the bait, and he did. That's just the reality of it. And yeah, it's a very complex situation. I know that the tech bros are trying to move in on this as well. The Epstein files are right in the middle of everything. So I know that a lot of you have a lot of mixed feelings about this, but it's happening. Like, it really feels like we can't stop whatever is happening, which is a lot. But this goes to the news. Based on what Trump said here, and based on that video from the 70s I showed you of Steven Spielberg, we have this. This is from Deadline Hollywood. It says, Steven Spielberg returning to South by Southwest will deliver keynote speech. This is written by Anthony D'Alessandro. Three-time Oscar winner Steven Spielberg is heading back to South by Southwest, this time as a keynote speaker on Friday, March 13th. The filmmaker first time at South by Southwest was for the world premiere of his 2018 feature Ready Player One, which was adapted from the sci-fi novel by Austin, Texas denizen Ernest Cline. Spielberg will sit down for a live episode for The Big Picture with host Sean Fennessy at South by Southwest for a wide-ranging discussion about his canon, the future of movies and moviegoing, and his new summer alien movie, Disclosure Day, which will hit theaters on June 12th via Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. So, based on this, what is Steven Spielberg going to talk about now that Trump made this announcement? And do you guys think that Spielberg was probably read into this, or he knew about this planning that was going on? And major kudos to those who were involved, which I told you who they were. But I think that despite the film Age of Disclosure having not told the entire story, I think that the effect that it was trying to get was achieved because of what happened yesterday. Yes, Obama was like the catalyst to make everything explode, but I think that that film is going to get more attention now from people in Congress and from the president. And if you show him that type of film with that level of urgency, I would guess that he's going to try and act even more definitively. But again, we can't ignore the Epstein files. We have to keep asking about that too. There is an old tweet from Walter Kern who said that both things might be related. And if they are, it's very dark. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. What do you think about Trump's announcement? What do you think about the potential that Steven Spielberg decided to put out Disclosure Day because he was already aware of this plan? Remember, this plan had been in the works for at least a year. The planning, not the plan. At least a year. So are we going to see the Disclosure Task Force, as Brett Federson said? DTF has kind of a ring to it, doesn't it? I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, that name is kind of weird. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. I'll be reading everything. There's a lot of reactions from everybody. Everybody. This is real. It happened. What do you think? That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Steven Spielberg and President Donald Trump too. Always. Bye.
Psicoactivo.
Always.